right time to now call on Mr. Pharmacist Olu Akanmu, who I know is in the house and is going to be the first person to speak to us today. Pharm Olu Akanmu, you are most welcome. Please bang your table if you are there to welcome our dear brother who has been a good ambassador of pharmacy. He has gone to all places and he has conquered the place. That is the truth. So bang your table for him and applause for Olu Akanmu. Olu, you are most welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Pharmacist Ojo. First, let me thank you and thank you for the invitation. And let me also acknowledge friends, colleagues, classmates, and not even from Ife. From Lagelu, I see Sheye Agbola there, all the way from our secondary school, Tunji Kolawole. I see Ansel Wanze and a couple of people, Biola, all the way from our lives, the time at Ife. It's good to at least see everyone virtually. I thought what I should do is I've been asked to speak to you about something about career advancement, skills for career advancement, but I've modified it. Essential skill for career advancement, but I've modified the topic. I hope you permit me. But it's around the same thing to talk about what I call 11 critical soft skills, behavior and attitude for good careers, which will also apply to what we do, whether we're entrepreneurs or whether we're in career. 11 critical soft skills, behavior and attitudes for good career. That is what I'll be speaking to. I will try and cover it in about 20, 25 minutes, hopefully.
Recording in progress.
Take questions and answer. I hope it will be useful. 11 critical soft skills for 11 critical soft skills, behavior and attitudes for good career. First, in everything we do, we must acknowledge grace. So that is given. So let's set to that. We always need the grace of God in everything that we do. So that's number one. That's the thing to put in the first bucket. So, but in terms of other things that we need to do on ourselves, that's where I will now start. Number one, and I'm speaking from my own experience. This is more like sharing my experience with you in some ways. What I have learned and which hopefully will be useful for many of us, whether we're young, whether we're in the middle of our career, whether we're much older. Number one is the first critical soft skill for for critical soft skills for good career is continuous and adaptive learning. Life opportunities will not always present itself to you the way you expect. You can only make the best of life opportunities by continuous and adaptive learning. If that's one thing I have, that's very important thing. When we all graduated, no one ever thought. Everything we wanted to do was work in Glaxo, and everything is Glaxo or Roche or something else. But opportunity of life doesn't always present to you the way you expect. Many of us may not, I think Pharmacist Ojo may not always tell people. Somehow
Recording in progress.
Talked in Pharmacist Ojo's history is that he worked for Coca-Cola. He probably should be talking more about it. And he worked for Coca-Cola, an FMCG company, Nigerian bottling company, for some time, and he got back again to pharmacy. I mean, the lesson here about many people who are pharmacists, who have gone to do other things, and even return back to pharmacy, is that the opportunity of life will not always present itself the way you expect. Adapting and continuously learning is important to taking advantage of the best opportunity, whether you are an entrepreneur or whether you are in career. Education is no longer about what you study or what you learned. Education is really about your ability to learn, and we are going to talk about it very shortly. You must be a perpetual student, formally or informally. Continuous and adaptive learning is critical for success, and no one is too old to learn, formally or informally. There are many of us were on Facebook. We are jiving about Chelsea and Arsenal and all the things. That is fine. But also on that Facebook or LinkedIn are opportunities where people are posting not just videos or comedy, but content about learning, education, opportunities. But we are not paying attention because it is the skits that we watch. It is so learning is all around us. You don't have to be in the classroom. There's a whole lot of learning online. One thing I must say, my dear colleagues, is that I see more pharmacists on Facebook than on LinkedIn. And it says something about us and about our opportunities. Most pharmacists are not active on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a professional Facebook where people are posting not comedic skits. They are posting about knowledge. They are posting about cybersecurity. They are posting about economy. They are posting about all sorts of learning content. But you don't see a lot of pharmacists there. But pharmacists are more active on Facebook. So it says something. A lot of learning is on LinkedIn. That's why you also build professional network connections, which we are not active. Pharmacists are not there. I think that's something I would like to leave on the table. You don't have to be in the classroom. There's a whole lot. If you're on LinkedIn, there's so much learning you can learn from your different network. People are posting what they are doing. People are posting what is going on in their companies. They are posting their events. That's why you know the events that are happening that can connect you to opportunities. But it's on Facebook that most of us are as pharmacists. I think it's something I will leave on the table, and I enjoy us to broaden. Even when we when we are on social platform, let's all connect to the professional community. Number two, it's resilience, career resilience, and entrepreneurial resilience. There are opportunities in the challenges and crises that life will throw at you. What we are going through in Nigeria today, in terms of devaluation of the currency, is not new. It has happened before in 1992. When I was going when I was going in the 90s, when I was going from Lagos to Benin City, to where I was based as a medrep for Glaxo, where Pharmacist Ojo was also based as that time, as medrep for Roche. We've seen this before. The prices of Glaxo changed 3 times. I remember that day, driving from Lagos to Benin. But we had 3 price lists in one day. As the Naira was changing, the price of prices of Glaxo was changing. But people and businesses survive, careers survive. How did they do it? They adapted. So how did they adapt? They adapted. There was entrepreneurial adaptation, there was career adaptation. People like Pharmacist Ojo, people like myself, people like Pharmacist Ojo went from there to go to Nigerian bottling company. They used their marketing skills to cross to other territories and learned. Some people went to family health when the pharmaceutical industry shrank and the opportunities of the pharmaceutical industry shrank. It does not mean that your opportunities should shrink because pharmaceutical industry pricing has become so expensive and the opportunities have shrunk. How can you adapt what you learn, what you have, the skills that you have to new opportunities that are around you? And people are going to do that even in this current crisis. So there are challenges in the crisis of this time that life and career will throw at people. Learn to adapt to the new opportunities evolving. Don't hold to the tail of a wave that is winding down. Which waves are rising? What do I need to get onto it and ride with it? Waves are going to rise. New waves are going to rise, even in these economic challenges. Do you know what those waves are? And how do you adapt and rise to it and ride with it? Number 3, curiosity, self and environmental awareness. You must have a high level of curiosity, self and environmental awareness to know the emerging opportunities around you and adapt to them and ride their waves. We pharmacists, we are very brilliant people. We scored very high in JAMB. Unfortunately, the training we received, it's a cocoon training. You go to the faculty in the night, you do 9 to 1, then you do practicals from 2 to 6 or something. When people are returning, you are coming back to your faculty, people are going to watch movies. You don't know even what is going on campus. The life of a pharmacist is cocooned. When he graduates, he continues that cocoon life. All the people he knows are pharmacists. His enemies, his friends are pharmacists, and his enemies are doctors. He does not know, he or she does not know what is going on around them. our curiosity, self and environmental awareness is very low. I had an encounter with a KPMG partner many years back. We were talking about how we were smarter in pharmaceutical industry than people who were Unilever. It's a very important lesson. He said, everybody is what you are paid. It's a free market. If you guys know you are good, learn. New places too can also see what you can do. So means that if we are not curious, if we continue in the cocooned way in which we've been trained, culture, where everything we know is about pharmacists and doctors, we will never see the broader opportunities and environment. So curiosity, self and environmental awareness is very important. The other one I want to talk about is self-awareness. Pharmacists don't know how much they are worth. Because, I mean, how do you explain that in public health, how much we are worth? If we connect to opportunities in those places, if nurses can be directors of public health, there's no reason why pharmacy directors of UNICEF, but we don't know how we are. Self-awareness of what we are worth is creating a double jeopardy in terms of limiting the opportunities of pharmacists, and it's something that we all have to address. And we all know many people who in different places who are pharmacists who have gone to do many things. MD of GT Bank today, he was a graduate of pharmacy from University of Ibadan. Patrick Yamabo, ED Finance of First Bank, CFO from University of Benin. There is one Adiola Yola. She's a young.
I'm not speaking.
I think that loss is from Mr. Akanmu, so let us just wait.
He has said it, that he has network problem.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes,
Sorry.
yes,
Okay, sorry. We'll make the best of it. MTN has not been great today. So know what you don't know. Knowledge is what you know, but real knowledge is knowing what you don't know. If you don't know what you don't know, you will not take actions to know what you don't know. So one of the things I like us to reflect on is, what do we know? But let us pay more attention to what we don't know, because that's the beginning of expanding our knowledge in terms of continuous learning. Number 5 is that we must learn how to learn. Number 5, learn how to learn. Until there's a method of learning. Honestly, I did not know. The way we were taught in school is to cram it and pour it, and we move on. But there's a way to learn. There's a method about learning. So learning how to learn is very important. These are some of the things which people, other professions have learned, and they have edges in terms of how they, in terms of the larger ecosystem. So there are 5 ways in which you can learn how to learn. Let me just go through them quickly. Whatever you want to learn, whether it's digital marketing that we're doing today or whatever. Number 1 is inspired consumption. And this is actually from some psychologists in education. I'm just sharing this. It's not from me. Number 1 is inspired consumption. You must be willing to learn. If you are not willing, if you are not inspired to learn, you will not learn. So your inspiration to learn is number 1. Number 2 is unstructured note-taking. When you read, when you listen to social media, do you have a pen and paper with you to take notes? Or you are reading a book, or you are reading an article. take a couple of critical notes, just be jotting down, as they say. Number 3 is consolidation. When you are reading, you have scattered knowledge. The notes you have taken are all scattered. Consolidate the notes you have taken into connect the scattered dots of your knowledge into a consolidated theme. Number 4 is they say analogize. Analogize is when you begin to connect what you have learned, use different analogies to a bigger mental map of what you have learned before. You connect them together. That's what analogize means. Then you build themes in terms of a structured learning. Now that you have connected the scattered notes, you have analogized, you can summarize what you have learned into. These are the 3-4 ways in which this happens. And number 6 is that whatever you learned, whatever you read, whatever you have watched on YouTube, make sure you use it. There's a knowledge atrophy. Knowledge atrophies if you do not use it. Knowledge atrophies, not use it. Practicalize your knowledge, apply it, or teach it. If you follow that method in whatever you are doing, digital marketing, want to learn retail, want to learn e-commerce, inspire consumption, unstructured note-taking, consolidation to connect the scattered dots from your notes, analogize to connect to a bigger mental map that you have developed before, building teams around what you have learned into structures, then idea exercise, that's number 6, and repetition. Repeat what you have learned, repetize it, repetize what you have learned so that you don't forget it. So learning how to learn is also a very important soft skill in terms of career success. Number 6 is build adjacent knowledge to your core knowledge and continuously expand your adjacent knowledge in response to life opportunities. Your adjacent knowledge will become the knowledge bridge that will enable you to cross to new territories. Let me explain this in my own context. When I was in the pharmaceutical industry, I started from sales, and we learned marketing. It was the marketing that we learned in the pharmaceutical industry, which is not core to my pharmacy. That was the adjacent knowledge that enabled me to build a knowledge bridge to cross into advertising. So around us, there's a core knowledge that we have. So we must learn deep, but we must also learn what are the adjacent knowledge around us. Our adjacent knowledge opportunities may be far more important for us in terms of expanding our horizon than even our core knowledge. Do you build how much of adjacent knowledge to your core knowledge are you building so that you can use that as a knowledge bridge to connect to life wider opportunities? Number 7, think bigger than pharmacy. What is your horizon of opportunities? You cannot be bigger than your industry. That's very important. So if the pharmaceutical industry has got challenges, can you redefine the boundaries of the industry? Historically, things like cosmetics, beauty have been part of pharmacy, but we've not ready to drugs. So can you redefine the boundaries of your horizon? That is very important. And see opportunities that we can leverage a pharmaceutical industry knowledge to expand the space and the size of the industry. So there are many examples like this that we can give to ourselves, but I just give that. I thought that would be useful. Think bigger than pharmacy. What is your horizon of opportunities? Number 7. Number 8 is that even if you stay in the pharmaceutical industry, because if your horizon of knowledge is bigger, some people will move out to do other things. It's important that you are exposed to business practices and knowledge outside the pharmaceutical industry so that you just don't be a regular pharmacist. And I want to give 2 examples here. Pharmacist Chris Ehime, the MD CEO of Net Pharmacy, he worked at Sterling. He was at Promasidor, where he was marketing manager for Cowbell. He was in Globalcom and he was in Bank PHB. The knowledge he learned in banking, in the pharmaceutical industry as a med rep, in FMCG, working for Promasidor, selling Cowbell milk, and Globalcom, he has brought them back to expand and scale Net Pharmacy. And they are building a business that is not the typical regular pharmacy. You could see in that business, they apply different kind of knowledge, retail, marketing, beyond just pharmacy. So the point of knowledge here is that you need to connect to business practice and knowledge outside the pharmaceutical industry so that you don't just be a regular pharmacist. Number 9 is that learn technology skills. Things like product management, design thinking. For those of us who are young, there are many things we can do. You've been a product manager in Pfizer, in Glaxo. That's same. Product management is the product management is the same thing everywhere. But you just need to learn the technology side of product management, and you can cross into some of those fintechs. So the opportunities of technology are far bigger than pharma. The tech industry is 100 times bigger than the pharmaceutical industry, especially for those of us who are young. The 7 out of the top 10 biggest companies in the world by market cap are tech companies. Eli Lilly is number 10 in terms of market capitalization in the global stock market. But if you look at the companies ahead of Eli Lilly that are much younger than Eli Lilly, like Microsoft, like Apple, Microsoft, for example, Microsoft is Eli Lilly, for example, is a nearly 150-year-old company. Apple is just a 50-year-old company, but Apple has a market capitalization that is like 5 times that of Eli Lilly. So that is telling us something about where the world is going. Younger companies are having market capitalization that are 5 times the size of 150-year-old pharmaceutical companies. It tells you that the world is moving to tech. If we want to connect to opportunities that are bigger out there, we must all learn technology skills, and we can learn it in different ways. Other kind of soft skills to learn are things like critical thinking, problem solving, and so on. Quantitative and numerical skills, statistical skills, communication skills, and creativity. When we were in school, all these things nobody taught us. Critical thinking, how to conceptualize thought, apply your thought, analyzing, synthesizing, evaluating information, gather from observation, experience reflection, reasoning, and so on. We didn't learn it. So go on internet, go and Google critical thinking. It will make you a better business manager, a better leader, even if you are in public service. A lot of the things we are doing, we are trying to solve problems. Critical thinking skill, there's a method about how to think. I did not know this until much later, and I need to go and learn it. So critical thinking, problem solving skills, these are some of the things that we need to learn as foundational skills to apply to what we are doing, whether we are running a pharmacy business or we're running an hospital or whatever. It will make us better business managers and better entrepreneurs or better business leaders. Number 11 is build good networks. What you know is not enough. How far anybody will travel. Grace is very important. That's number 1, like I've said. But what you know is not enough. How far you will travel is a function of what you know and who you know. If you have 2 people who have the same knowledge, the one that has the bigger network will travel further. So we used to think that knowledge, what matters is about education. Yes, it's important. But education and network are very important. They are mutually complementary. So build good networks. Network makes a lot of difference between 2 people with similar abilities. And network is not about, let me go and get from others. What you get from your network is also a form of the value you have to people. Add value to others. And that's the way they will value you. And that's how you can get value from your network. Soft and social skills, conversation skills, interaction, listening to people are very important. There are some of us, when we're in cocktails, we don't know what to talk about because the subjects that we know are very limited. So when we meet a banker, we meet somebody in an oil and gas, we don't know what to say because of our cocooned way in which we have been trained. So learning a little bit broadly helps us even in terms of our social connections and our network. So soft and social skills and so on are also very important in terms of building good network. So in summary, and I think in summary, the 11 critical skills for good, 11 critical soft skills, 11 critical soft skills, behavior and attitude for good careers. Let me just summarize them again. Number 1 is continuous and adaptive learning. Number 2 is resilience, career and entrepreneurial resilience. Number 3 is curiosity, self and environmental awareness. Number 4 is know what you don't know. Number 5 is learn how to learn. Number 6 is build adjacent knowledge to your core knowledge and use that as a knowledge bridge to cross to new territories. Number 7, think bigger than pharmacy. What is your horizon of opportunities? Number 8, expose yourself to business practices outside pharmacy so that you are not a regular pharmacist. Number 9, learn technology skills. Technology skills today, e-commerce, social, people are using software for their customer relationship management in their pharmacies. These are all things available today. You learn it, will do a better retail. Number 10, critical thinking skills, problem solving skills, communication skills, employability skills. These are very important things for us to learn. It will help us with good business managers. And number 11 is build good network. How far anyone will travel is a function of who you know and is a function of what you know and who you know. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I hope it has been useful.
Fantastic.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Olu, thank you so much. We will ask you, why is the network like this? Because you were there before. You were there before, Olu. Now, you know why I've called him. And let me say something about him and the other resource person that is going to talk to us. I spoke to them once. They did not argue with me. Why? Because they know how important this is. And you will see that it's a good choice. Another round of applause for him, please. Now, before I made my own comment, he has said that he's ready to take some questions. So, can we have some questions? If you want to ask questions, just raise up your hand so that we can see it and ask. He will take some questions. He knows that. Because I asked him for a presentation, but he told me that he would rather prefer an interactive discussion. And he has done his own part. I took note, copious note. So I don't know about you. So, question time. How many people want to ask questions? I have 2 hands up already. Who else want to ask questions? Sorry? His hand is up now. Okay, shall we start with Mazi, Coleman, or Bassi? Your hand had been up even before Olu started talking. So maybe you already had the question before. Okay.
No, sorry, it was a mistake. I'm going to remove it when I was finding it difficult to enter the forum. So okay. That's when I raised my hand. I'm sorry about that.
No problem. Can one of the hosts help me lower his hand? Now we have Mr. Tolulope Ajayi, the brand new ACPN chairman, Lagos State. Can you ask a question?
Thank you very much, sir. Our convener, Dr. Lulu Ojo, and Pharmacist Olu Akanmu, we appreciate you for that insightful presentation. Always mind challenging and high opening. I can relate very well with the role that stepping outside of pharmacy plays in our career. And I've had you present like this on 3 different occasions, and each time it comes, I know that don't let me go that way. Let me just go straight to the question. I just want to ask if we look at our profession, pharmacy, there are 2 sides to it. There's a side that is commercial. There's a side that is the aspect of pharmaceutical care, giving back and caring for people and all that. I just want to see how do we engage with our people in such a way that they don't interpret the message we are passing across to them to mean abandon pharmacy and explore, just abandon it and then migrate to another industry, but rather to let them see how we can bring in technology to improve a lot of pharmacy, to improve our problem-solving skills, improve our critical thinking skills and all that. Because there are a whole lot of innovations that have been introduced in pharmacy, and we realize that many of our colleagues are struggling with those innovations. Even to operate WhatsApp, to operate the Facebook we're talking about, there are a large percentage of our colleagues are struggling with these things. And that becomes a major limiting factor to pharmacy. So I just want to put that to Pharm Olu Akanmu to please help us out in that area. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Pharmacist Tolulope. I heard you, and I'm sure Olu heard you. And if I can rephrase that question, how do we ensure that we don't lose the Olu Akanmu of this world? so that even when they have acquired all the skill, they can still be in pharmacy. So, Olu, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Pharmacist Jayi, for the question. I got you clearly, and we are talking. I want to answer that question very sincerely. I think we should create an open market that enables our best people to be the best they can be. That's the best way in which there will be the pharmaceutical industry will thrive. That's why I gave an example of pharmacists like Chris Eime. This exposure to many things has helped him to rethink how when I listen to him and he's talking about supply chain management and so on, I see, okay, he didn't learn this in Sterling, for example, when he was in Medrep. So I think we should just allow, especially for our young people, we should just allow them to explore. It's like when people say, do we want people to japa or not japa? It's neither here nor there. Those who japa at a point when we fix Nigeria will come back. But they will come back with a bigger exposure and a bigger learning to what about from environment that has worked. And many times what they will come and do is just go and replicate what is happening in advanced market here. And everybody will grow. That's the way China, for example, grew. Chinese Americans that were in China went back when China became a capitalist country, and they were a key factor in the growth of places like Taiwan and so on. So I hear you, sir, but I would say let our young people explore the best of opportunities so that they can have the best of their potential. There's enough spaces for people to stay within pharmacy and do it well. There's not enough spaces for pharmacists not to lose the opportunities that are bigger than pharmacy that is out there, so that we also don't cocoon ourselves. And that's where I will want to honestly answer the question. If I have a pharmacy student as a younger brother or as a younger sister, that's the way I would genuinely answer. Thank you, sir. And I think the pharma industry will be much better for it.
Be our message to you that we are expecting you back at a higher scale. Abi? Your classmate Tunji is here and he's saying that they are waiting for you
I've
back.
Never been Pharmacist Ojo, like you know, one of the things I had the exceptional privilege of delivering the 89th lecture, 89th keynote address at the 89th conference of PSL in Mina. I can't remember what that year. So a few years back. Unfortunately, these were not the days of the internet, this popular. But what I want to say is that some of the things which I shared in that keynote address, if I was in Glaxo and I retired in Glaxo, I could not have done it that way. And I think that's the context in which I mean. People need to go out to come back, even if they are not back. The fact that, for example, we are here today challenging ourselves is part of it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Like you did mention, I was in diaspora before too, and coming back, I mean, it's a different something. Again, Olu, we thank you. I just want to wrap up this stage by letting us know that, hey, it's all about us. It's left for us. What I wish that this lecture or this note that Olu has given us to do to us is for us to quit complaining We really need to keep complaining. A lot of our colleagues complain a lot, complain about Peter medicine store, we complain about open drug market, we complain about unfair competition, we complain about doctors, we complain about virtually everything available. But hey, here we are. There are opportunities for us to stay above our environment. They said to be average, you need to know something about everything. To be good means you know everything about something. Then excellence demands that you know everything about everything. And that's exactly what he's telling us. We need to keep on moving. We know pharmacy quite all right. We know the pharmacological basis of therapeutics. We know that. We can speak English on that. Pharmacokinetics, we can challenge anybody and everybody on it. Synthesis, biosynthesis, whatever it is. But hey, you need more skill for you to play in this world. You need more skill for you to play in this world. That is exactly what we are saying. Tolu, I'm sure Olu understood you, and I do understand you. If people learn more skill like this, will they still stay in pharmacy? But the point being made is that they will be better pharmacists. That's the truth. They will be better pharmacists, and they will be able to expand what they are doing right now. Do it better, do it well. Look at it. We have 800 people registered as of this morning. And because of that, we expanded the capacity to hold. But as we are talking now, we only have about 75% in the house, and maybe another 20, 25 following on YouTube. It is that curiosity, you mentioned it, curiosity. And what they taught us in school, everything we start from the entropy. That state of disorderliness in you that make you question, what is happening to me now? Why is my pharmacy at this level? Why do I have to be struggling with 5,000 naira or 10,000 naira or even 20,000 naira daily sales? What am I going to do with that? What other things can I do? You could, with what we want to learn today in digital marketing, engage your clients better. This is what we are talking about. What will make you do better? Pharmacists, we call ourselves custodians of drugs. But how many of us know the process through which drugs enter into this country? These are things that we need to ask ourselves. And that was the reason why I organized managing import logistics. And I threw it open to everybody. When I was chairman of NAHIP, the pharmacists who are custodians of drugs should know how drugs enter into the country. We're under this platform, we may still do that, but the point is, people must be ready to learn. You must be ready to go beyond the level, waiting for government to do this for you. Look, dear colleagues, the world of pharmacy is bigger than the world of pharmacists. This is something we have to agree. It's something that we have to accept. That the world of pharmacy is bigger than the world of pharmacists. A day will not come. There will be no that day when only pharmacists will be involved in anything and everything that has to do with pharmacy. Even in the factory, there will be engineers. Engineers will be there to ensure that the machines are working. You will have technicians. In the laboratory, you have chemistry people and all this and all that. So if we really want, we are the leader, anything pharmaceutical. But as the leader, we must have superior knowledge, not only in the one they taught us in school, in order that we have to gather. I want on your behalf to thank Mr. Pharmacist Olu Akanmu for this beautiful job. We'll be happy if you stay around with us so that if we have questions, we can still ask you. Thank you so much, Olu. Another round of applause for him.